and welcome to an Eternium video. Although I'm not taking part in Silver 8, I'm making a video for those that might be able to use this as some sort of strategy or some sort of idea on planning out how to spend your glory, assuming that you're coming into the event with absolutely no glory whatsoever. So you're going to be locked into a critical build. What I've got here is Womblewisp, who played through Bronze 8. I've removed all his champion levels, so he's effectively sitting as just a level 70 mage, wearing the build that I would have used to get to level 70. So it's basically hasten experience across the board, basic cloth armor, basic trinkets, basic arcane weapon, arcane offhand, again haste experience, base bracer, basic belt, and then the boots and pants are movement speed and experience. So that's how I would normally level to 70 anyway. Obviously all the recent videos that you see me going to 70, I've either had a Firelily or a talisman of Vial of Wind Spirits. We're assuming in this video that you've got no glory whatsoever and you therefore can't do the level 70 process like that. So you'll have taken a fair deal longer than I did, or I have in previous videos, to get to 70. What I'm going to run through hopefully in this video is just what I would do if I was in that position where I'd be spending glory and what I would be buying. I'm making an assumption as well for this video that you do have all the ELR and GMC weapons and armor all unlocked. Although as we go along, I'm going to take it as though we were doing a budget run. So there are a number of milestones that we want to reach. So at level 70 we're picking up our first ephemeral cube and 5 glory. At level troll 20 we would pick up another cube. At troll 30 a third cube and 5 glory, and at this point we're going to make a purchase using the glory. At troll 40 we'll get our 4th item plus a ring. At 50, 10 glory and another item. This glory will be saved. At 55 we pick up another ring. At 60 we get our last item. At this stage I'm going to swap in all the gear that I've got crafted for this video, just making the assumption that you would be able to do that. It might not be possible. At level 70 we're going to pick up the necklace. At troll 80 10 more glory, so we have a decision to make on a unique trinket to buy at that stage. The remaining milestones, 100 and 120, this might be out of reach for a new player with no glory whatsoever going into their first ANB event, but we shall see. I'll show you what I would do in order to get there. Other things that you need to bear in mind, not so much a problem on this character, but there's another one that we're going to switch to because they've got a full experience farming set already equipped, so that's going to have some pretty decent weapons and armor on it. Not a lot I can do about that without taking part in ANB, and I really don't have the time for that this week. But with that aside, we shall jump in and make a start. So first up, we've hit level 70, so we're going to get the first ephemeral cube. you might be able to craft this as well. What I would go for with this character, we're going to take the Integralis Mantle, because at the moment we've got absolutely no ability rate in the build at all. I'm also not running any rings or necklace. You would probably have that. So I'm going to say Integralis Mantle as the first item. That's going to go by the by. And we can jump in and run. Let's say we've just hit level 70, so we've probably only unlocked as far as Troll 10. So we'll go and run that, and we'll try and do it in a short time and unlock Troll 20. I mean, these are all unlocked already, so I'm going to have to make a guess. I've just thought of one last thing that I can't avoid either, which is that the abilities and skills are going to be much higher than you would have. So that just needs to be borne in mind, that my runs will be faster as a result of high level skills there, but you can certainly make these runs. You might have to do a trial in between 10 and 20 depending on the speed that you get the clear through. But let's take a look at Troll 10. Actually, let's look at the skills, because I've not explained that. I'm running with Frostbolt and Arc Lightning. Unfortunately, Arc Lightning is going to give me an attack speed boost and a damage boost because it's already at level 10. This is something that I'll prioritise anyway within ANB. Definitely get it to level 7 as soon as possible. Normally, as soon as I've hit level 70, I stop playing for a bit and get this skill to level 7, because that's going to start giving you an attack speed buff at that stage. At level 10 you then pick up the damage buff as well. So I'm going to see a 25% increase in my attack speed. This, I'm trying to think, it's 1.05 to the power of 5 off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's 26 point something or 27 point something more damage. On the abilities, Immolate, Frost Nova and Blizzard. And then on the passives, I'm running Endurance for some toughness, Celerity for some attack speed, and Intense Training for some ability rate. And finally we can jump into Troll 10. So things aren't going to die that quickly. Hopefully this will just be an example of rounding things up. I'm going with basic companions as well. So you can see things are slow to unlock. We still have mouse control problems because the devs think this is the way forward. And it isn't. Deal with them. Running instead of attacking, because why not? Group them up for Blizzard. This is actually a lot slower than the practice run that I did. $130. We'll pretend we've got Troll 20 unlocked at least. I think something that we need to do is, let's say we just got 30 champion levels off that. It probably would have been more. So we would have 10 to allocate in the offense stage, so I will throw that into haste. It is a crit build, but I'm not going to touch these. I'm going to run this as I would have run ANBs in the past with ELR. I max out haste, then crit rating, then crit damage. It's up to you how you want to do it. You might want to share it equally. We'll add 10 to life, and we want our experience going up because that's the stage you'd be at in ANB. Let's move on to Troll 20. Now after this trial we will get our second cube. So we can equip another epic item. Not the best map this, everything's spread out. Let's see if we can grab a few. What I'm basically aiming for is to get the 2 Grand Magister's command weapons as though they were coming from ephemeral boxes, so we can start to speed up the runs then, because we have shatter available to us. Just under 2 minutes, but it doesn't matter really. So let's say we got, I don't know, how many champion levels do we want to assign? Let's give ourselves another 30. We would have got more than that, but hey ho. Okay, so with Troll 20 down, we can equip our next item as though it's come from a cube. So let's take our Igneous. We don't need that one anymore, we can throw that away. We'll go run Troll 30. Probably best if I just run the trolls and say okay, we've farmed a bit in between. So this isn't going to have improved things yet, we're still going to be slow. Maybe I can try and play a bit better than I did on that last one. As long as I keep everyone interested, we'll be able to hit them with things like Blizzard. Running down a dead end there. a few mobs, but let's not worry about them. Or do worry about them. So yes, it is a lot slower when you don't have nice things to at hand straight away, but that's the idea behind this video. Completely lost track of what trial that was. That was 30. Okay. I think what I'll do is pretend that we've done a bit of experience farming and got a few champion levels behind us. Let's max out our haste. Let's max out life and armour. And we'll have maxed experience and movement speed. So for completing trial 30 we do get our third cube. So for this we are taking Glacius Tempestus, which is going to give us our shatters now. We've now got 10 glory as well. What I would aim for with the initial 10 glory, on the belts under unique Frostfire sash, I think I've crafted one. Have I crafted one in advance pretending we're going to get there? No. That's what I would unlock, a Frostfire sash at this stage. So that one's probably a waste of being made. I think what I'll do is get rid of this one and say we've unlocked Frostfire sash, let's go and make one. Epic, we'll go with frost damage, haste and experience. Again, one of the problems I'm going to have is Frost Beam is at level 10, but Frost Beam is really strong. I need to equip that. Actually, I could have done it from there, couldn't I? So our build now has Frost Beam and these. So next up is trial 40. Let's see how Frost Beam changes things. I haven't run any tests of this, so no idea how this is going to go. But since we now have Shatter, we're going to be able to aggro a whole lot more mobs. and we can just beam them down. Obviously with the low ability rate that I have, things take a while to come off cooldown. We're in quite a good position just to beam a few things away. And Kara just explodes off the thermal shock there, so that's pretty impressive. So for completing 40 we get another cube. I would go for, in this instance, the chest piece. And you think, why is that? And it is because our northern wind duration is increased 2 seconds by equipping that. I had to think, why would I go for that? We also get a ring from the rewards at Trial 40 in ANB. So I'm just picking, these are rings that I've crafted in previous ANBs, so they're not particularly brilliant, but this is a stat distribution that I would go for on a crit build. So crit rate and crit damage, ability rate, experience on one of them. I see it's got 100 power on it, enchanted. The other is a crit rate and crit damage and haste, so ability rate on one, haste on the other. But we haven't unlocked that one yet. And let's say that we have gained or been doing some farming and we've gained a bit of crit rating. We can add 50 to life on hit, and we can add 50 to ability rate for now. So next up is trial 50, where we will get another cube. Probably should explain the stats that I'm putting on those epic pieces as well. I should do that after this trial, because even though this is a crit build, there is nothing crit about those items. So you can see that the thermal shock off the back of a frost beam is very powerful. And away she goes. So, what would be my next item? I think shoulders, it gives us actually it's only death from above on those, so we're pretty much free to do whatever we want now. The stats I've put on all the epics: haste, ability rate, experience. Haste, ability rate, experience. Movement speed, ability rate, experience. It's this across the board with basic trinkets that are coming as well. So haste, ability rate, experience. Haste, ability rate, experience. Same on the weapons. And on the Frostfire sash, I have gone with frost damage, haste and experience. Ah yeah, frost damage, haste, experience on the trinkets. That's what I thought I should have done. Rather than haste on those. So that's what we're building towards, even though this is a crit build. We don't have Firelily, and I'm not putting anything critical in there at the moment apart from on the jewellery. So that was 50. I haven't added anything yet. Let's add, I don't know, anything. I'll stick the shoulders in, even though I'm not doing a death from above build. I'm going to salvage all this and then we shall carry on with 60. So when we complete trial 60, what I'm going to do is assume that we end up farming around that area for some time. That's because previously, before we had belts, braces, trinkets, etc., ELR would end up sitting around 60 to 70 for some time. So once we've cleared this trial 60, I am going to, actually let's give us some more champion levels for that. Let's say we've maxed out crit rating now. Our life regen and our ability rate. What you would normally do is end up stuck around 60 to 70 for a while, building up your champion levels. So what I'm going to do is take us to what would be 750, and then we'll just take a run of something, probably 70, and then go jump on another character to look at 80 and above. Okay, so we are running into trial 60 now. At 55 we would get another ring. At 60 we get our final ephemeral cube. So at that point I'm going to equip all the epic gear. Helps not to miss with your Frost Nova as I did, because otherwise you lose aggro like that. So we're really not struggling with damage, just because Frost Beam is so strong. Character is uncontrollable, and this is apparently fixed. Please ignore my video where I said, oh, it's good, it's fixed, it's how it used to be. It's not. It's an improvement and it's still terrible. Run down here and grab a blob of them. So definitely no problem with damage. So at Troll 60 we've got our second ring equipped. I'm going to throw on the rest of the epic gear that I crafted purely for this video. All I'm doing here is assuming that we've farmed Troll 60 for a bit and we've gone ahead and crafted any missing pieces that we didn't have from the boxes, so that's the only reason I've thrown those on. We'll throw these in here so I can salvage those. They've served their purpose. That necklace will be used very soon. And also I'm going to assume that we're farming somewhere between 60 and 70 and we max out our crit damage there and our extra gold. So we're basically at champion level 750 at this stage. We've only got a 23% chance of a crit hit at the moment. It does 660% extra damage. Haste is good. Haste feeds into frost beam. The more haste you've got, it is 10 times your hits per second, I think, is the number of stacks of the frost burn that you put on. And so we're looking at 55 potentially off one full beam. Every single one of those 55 will have a 23% chance of critting and then doing crit damage. So you'd expect about a quarter of those to be critting as they go on, and then obviously when we do the thermal shock at the end with the frost nova, again we're getting a 23% chance for that being a crit and multiplying up as well. Ability rates, let's see where we are with that. 1678, that will go up a bit more, but about 1800 I think we'll do this. So what I'll do is go run Troll 70. Again, we've still not got the only crit damage and crit rating that we've got in the build are coming from our 2 rings at the moment. And hoping that Frostbeam, by using the first 10 glory that we ever earned on that, is doing the damage for us. I may end up a bit squishy for this level with dreadful controls like this. Oh, ripping through them damage wise at least. Now if only I could go and attack where I want to attack. Get more joy off these down here to fill up this bar. Well, she went down in one. Must have been a critical. So at that stage we now have our final item to equip, which would have been this necklace. That was Troll 70, wasn't it? Yes. So I can pretty much say you're in a good spot for farming at that stage. There's probably no need for me to keep these rings on. What I'm going to do is switch to a crit build EXP farmer, and we shall take that from 80 plus. Let's see if we can do 120. I've not tried 120 with us. I think toughness is a bit low, but we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't recommend 120 with a EXP farmer. So let's just switch over characters. Okay, so this is my old experience farming character. I'm going to assume in this video that you have been farming Troll 70, possibly 80, gathered up enough resources to have crafted now a legendary set. I'm purposely not taking this character beyond champion level 750 because if I start putting more stuff into power, as you can see I've got 77 weapons sat on this character, so that would be a bit unfair to say add even more power into her. She should be doing absolutely fine as it is. But looking at the stats, so this is how you want, or this is certainly how I would run a crit build ELR mage, and how I've done it in the past. Helm has got just crit rating, haste, ability rate, experience. The necklace we saw earlier, experience, crit damage, ability rate and crit rating. The shoulders, crit rating, crit damage, ability rate, experience. The robe is ability rate, crit damage, experience and power. The mantle, crit rating, crit damage, bit of life on hit and experience. I've put basic trinkets on for now because this character has only got 10 glory, spent 10 and we earned 10 at Troll 50, so we've got 10 glory sat in the bank, and a unique trinket's going to cost 20, so we need to go clear Troll 80 in order to get a trinket. But the trinkets are Frost, Haste, Experience, Crit Damage, Frost, Haste, Experience, Crit Damage, Arm Guards, Crit Rating, Crit Damage, Experience, Haste. The Bracer, Frost, Haste, Experience, Crit Damage. Our Frostfire Sash, which we saw a version of earlier, we've now got a legendary one. Frost Damage, Haste, Experience and Crit Damage. Crit rating, crit damage, experience and movement speed on the pants. Same for boots, crit rating, crit damage, movement speed and experience. He says without changing. Crit rating, crit damage, movement speed, experience. The rings, these are exactly the same two rings that we just saw on the last character, and then the staff. Crit rating, crit damage, haste, experience. I have got Slayer on this already. Probably not something that you would be looking at too much. I think in your first, actually you probably won't have, I think that's glory to unlock as well. That's something I'm going to have to be unavoidable, and again obfuscation on the Tempest. But we've got crit rating, crit damage, ability rate and experience. So that is giving us, now we're up to 40% on our crit rating, and that's what I think should be an absolute minimum. The higher you can go the better, but 40% I think is where you're aiming for. Crit damage, again, the more the better. We've got a lot of bonus frost damage through the belts, bracers and trinkets. Our ability rate 1627. It's a little bit low, but hopefully that will be fine. I've not run trial 80 with this build, so we'll see how that goes. An experience at 1230, so with a 200% boost, we're running at 3690% for EXP farming. So let's go take a look at trial 80. Maybe it will run 100. I forgot to run through the build, and it's the wrong build, so we shall quit. We are going with Frost Nova. I'm going to throw in endurance as we had before. If you've got enough survivability, then you don't really need that. It's probably more than enough there. Did I put in Frostbeam? Yes. So it's same build as we were doing earlier. Ooh, losing aggro. You see Kara's going to go down pretty quick from a Frostbeam. It didn't crit, but quick enough. So yeah, 90 seconds. So at that stage we will have gained another 10 glory. We can get a trinket. Now on a crit build there are two that are very worth getting. Talisman of Storms. So the Talisman of Storms, which increases your crit damage by 3000%. That's really useful, certainly in push for EXP farming. I'm not 100% convinced that that's your best choice first talisman to get. It's entirely up to you. Either Talisman of Storms or the Vial of Wind Spirit. Now bearing in mind that Vial of Wind Spirit is good for getting to level 70 when you don't have the GMC weapons giving you shatter, but this has got its AoE on it, so either one of those is a good bet at this stage. We just saw that Kara died super easily without a Talisman of Storms, so let's say that we have now just purchased a Vial of Wind Spirit. It should be the same stats as what we've got here. Yes, I'm going to take the 72 out, just pretend we've leveled up a bit. The 72 can go away. If I was going with a Talisman of Storms, this is what I would have gone with. Frost Haste Experience, critical damage as well. So that is 80 down. That is certainly the first 30 glory spent, not 30, yeah, 30 glory that you've earned, that's where I would have spent it. So Trial 100 is 15 glory and Trial 120 is 15 glory. So for getting to Trial 120 you could then unlock the second trinket in your crit build. I might take a look at that. Let's go take a look at Trial 100, see if we can run that with just this mock 750, even though we've got high level weapons, so it's in reality a bit higher than 750. A vial of wind spirit's going to help a bit here. And broken controls aren't. Says Mr. Stuck Record. If I can increase the toughness, we might be able to do 120. Okay, Talisman of Storms maybe would have helped. Oh, there we are. Get a crit. She dies anyway. So yeah. So we've now got 15 glory in the bank, but we need 5 more. So we'll need 120 in order to get our Talisman of Storms. I'm just wondering whether to put some... What's our hits per second? 5.6. Whether I can put a bit more toughness in. I'd prefer about 400,000. Let's give it a run and see how comical it is. This could go hideously wrong. Oh, not unlocked there. Okay, might as well end the video then. Assuming you get to 120, what you can then do is unlock the Talisman of Storms, which will replace this item. And that would be how I would go down my very first, what am I spending my limited initial glory on. Since the Firelily is 100 glory, yes, it's great for future ANBs. I think you're going to get more benefit up front from the much cheaper items that we have here. So the final build ended up with 5.6 hits per second. Our crit rating is at 40%, crit damage 1800. These can all be improved. I don't have... If you run with the ephemeral rings, you'll end up with better stats than these two. Obviously I've not put anything into power because I'm just mocking a low character at the moment, or mocking up I should say. Frost damage looks good. Vitality, we need a bit more than that to go run 120, but again that should be done with push gear. Life on hit is plenty. Ability rate, that could be higher. I think 1800 would be better than 1677. But apart from that, everything's good. Now, if you were looking at a push build, basically you're swapping out experience on all the items. You want to balance that in, say on this helm, either crit damage to replace that experience. In fact, I would recommend crit damage instead of experience for the push on the helm. Here you might want either vitality or haste. This one probably either crit rating or some life on hit. Oh, we've got some there, but you're basically looking to replace experience and then balance it with any missing ability rate, haste, vitality, life on hit, or any other useful stat that you feel would improve your character. I wouldn't say this is the exact build you should go for. If you look at the top of the leaderboard, you probably see that people have got slightly different builds in stat distribution, even if all the gear's identical. This has been a bit of a rambling all over the place video. Hopefully you've been able to follow it. If you've got any questions, comments or anything of the sort, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll catch you next time with some farming analysis, which might be utterly boring for most of you.